friends. So I'm 1 week out from nationals. I'm feeling pretty good these days for being a week out. I have my moments, kind of up and down here and there, but that's expected. I'm definitely feeling a hell of a lot better than I did for my provincial prep. And back a couple of video logs ago, I had talked to you about changing my diet up a bit and doing things a bit differently than what I had normally done, and being advised to take out some foods, and there was question whether I may have had some food intolerances. So I went and had some tests done. I had a food intolerance test done. It was a blood test, and they tested for over 200 different types of foods, and the results you get back look like this. So they list all the 200 foods here, and this little dark box is my highly reactive foods, meaning I should not ingest them at all because my body does not handle them well. And then they have mild and moderate reactive foods, which you should only have in moderation. And then there are your non-reactive foods, which are basically free game. So this box right here, the highest reactive food that my body does not like is egg whites. So go figure, no wonder I felt so good once I took eggs out of my diet. Second on the list is peanuts, and my favorite protein powder is peanut butter chocolate. So, those two things, when I had taken them out, I felt so good. I had so much more energy, and my stomach feels good, and I'm not bloated all the time. And, yeah. So also in that list, though, is wheat, cow's milk, scallops, red kidney bean, goat milk, peas, brewer's yeast, sheep milk, and pineapple. So those are my highly reactive foods and ones that I should definitely not even take in. But, in my mild and moderate reactive ones, I have rice, cinnamon's there, quinoa's there, almonds are there, casein protein is there, mustard seed is there. So if you know anything about competition diets, you'll understand why this year I was basically really fighting my body to condition myself. But the past month, since I took out egg whites and my protein powder, I've noticed a world of difference. So I'm really excited to be getting done this show and to revamp my diet and do a really good cleanse of all of these foods. And just because you have a food intolerance doesn't mean that you can't ever eat these foods again, but it's recommended to remove the highly reactive ones out of my diet completely for 3 months, and then I can slowly start to reintroduce them one by one to see how my body reacts to it. And with the oatmeal and quinoa and all that those are my main carb sources for competition prep. So I need to remove everything and just basically, like I said, do a good cleanse and restore my body back to some normal levels. So I'm pretty excited to have gotten these results and to get focused on this afterwards. Today, what I really wanted to talk about was, I've been YouTubing for just over a year now and really sharing my whole competition experience with everybody because I like to, and I think it's neat, and a lot of people don't do it, so I think it's good to see into an athlete's life and what they go through, and because every competitor goes through different things, and I think it's important to know how other people feel and how other people diet and train and whatnot. But what I haven't really talked about was what sort of not pushed me, but what got me into this whole life. And, if you had met me probably 4 or 5 years ago, you wouldn't recognize who I am now. And I look back and I don't even know who that girl was. And I was living a very destructive, unhealthy, very miserable life. And I suffer from depression, and that's something that a lot of people don't know. It's something that I still deal with, but it was back in 2009 when I hit an all-time low, and that was sort of my breaking point, and turning to my family for help. I was hospitalized and fearful for my life. So, sometimes on the outside, what someone's life can appear like is not really, what they're going through. And everybody goes through things and everybody has hardships. And I think it's important to understand that, sometimes someone's life might look fantastic and magnificent and that they have everything. And, inside a lot of different things could be going on. So, I got the professional help that I needed, and it was at that point when I kind of realized that, this is not my life. This is not how I want to be living, and really wanted to make a change. So what it is, I picked up and I moved to a city where I didn't know anybody, and decided just to wipe my slate clean and start from scratch and, sort of build a life that I wanted and be that person that I always wanted to be. So I moved to Ottawa, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends here. So what did I do? I started going to the gym regularly, and that started making me feel really good. And kind of on a whim, I decided to enter a competition in the fitness model category. And I didn't know anything about competitions, and I didn't really hire the proper help to help me diet. And I half-assed the prep, and I didn't follow diet too strictly. And I was never a big person to begin with, so I got somewhat lean, but definitely was not up to par with where I should have been. And I remember on the competition day, I was backstage, and you're backstage and you're looking around at all the other women there, and just I felt really out of place, and I knew that I didn't have what it took to be there, and that I should not have been there, and that was not a good feeling. So award time came, and I did not do well at all. I got 9th place, and that feeling of standing on stage, knowing that you didn't do the work, and that it showed, and that this is not a sport that you can cheat. This is not a sport that you can just on a whim jump in and do well. It takes everything you have in you to do well, and that show was a really low blow for me, and that sort of pushed me back into depression for 2 months after that. And it was my own fault, and it was one of those things I didn't really prepare myself well for, and didn't know the emotional consequences that would have come from that. So, but I picked myself back up, and I realized that I liked the lifestyle. I liked the structure, the healthy eating, the regimented training schedule, and that made me feel good. That made me feel good about myself, about my life. It made me feel productive, and I liked that. And I didn't like that feeling of being on stage and not doing well. So the figure athletes really inspired me. So I took a year, and I started talking to various people, learning as much as I could about the sport, got someone to help me with my diet, and did a show exactly 1 year from my first show, almost, and it was with the WBFF, and I got first in my class for figure. So that feeling was absolutely amazing. And it was a couple days after that I received an email from Paul and Allison Dillett, and they said that they congratulated me and wanted to talk with me and have a phone conversation. So we chatted, and they had said that I had a fantastic look, that I had the potential to go really far in this industry if I wanted to. They wanted to know what my fitness goals were, what I saw for my future, and invited me to come to their world event that August, and said that they, would help me to get to where I wanted to be in this industry. So I thought, I was so honored with that, and I thought that was absolutely great. And then it was a couple months after that I had went to the OPA provincial show, and my boyfriend Tom was competing there. And I remember sitting in the audience and seeing the figure girls and the level of competition that was at that show, and I was actually really, really intimidated. And that sparked something in me, wanting to have that big goal of stepping on a provincial stage and knowing that I qualified for that show and trying to go to the next level. So, and then learning, after provincials come nationals, and then you can get your IFBB pro card, the ultimate pro card that everybody kind of goes after if they're going that route. So I said, yes, I want to be at provincials and I want to qualify for nationals for 2012. So I worked my butt off, did the November show, got first place and the overall. Awesome. So I thought, if I can crack top 5 at provincials and then, just make it into nationals. That was the goal. So we did provincials a couple months ago, and, coming out overall, that was, like I've said before, that I really did not expect that, and I'm still so shocked. And I'm actually, I'm a week out from that goal that I had made for myself a year ago. And, competing is not just about stepping on stage. Competing to me is about, it reminds me every time that I am better than that person that I used to be, and that I have come so far in the past 3 years. And knowing that if I wanted something, that it was going to take a lot of work to get there, and proving to myself that anything is possible. So, sorry. So, next week, it means a lot to me just to have made that goal for myself and to be stepping on the national stage and, done everything in my power to get there. So just being there, getting on stage, my goal has been fulfilled. Anything more than that is just icing on the cake. So that is my life and perspective and sort of competition history in a nutshell. Depression is something that I still deal with from day to day, and it's, I compete because I thrive on structure. I thrive on healthy nutrition, new structure, regimented lifestyle, and competing just fits that perfectly. And I love challenging myself and going for that next step and proving to myself that, I am better than that person that I used to be. And it's not that I'm a different person, but I have a whole new outlook on life and perspective of how I want my life to be and what it's going to take to get there. And, happiness is something that you have to earn. It's something that it doesn't just fall into your lap. You create your own destiny. So, whatever will be next week. And, I started an online coaching business last year, EFIT Online Coaching, and I started that because I wanted to inspire other women and show other people basically a whole new outlook on life. And since I have gotten into doing this, it honestly, unveiled my eyes, and I feel like, I've been open to this whole world of positivity and light. And if I could share that with someone else and have someone else experience that, that's just so amazing. And the messages and the comments and everything that I get on Facebook and my followers on YouTube, I do this stuff to inspire other people to better themselves. And, if you are happy and you are healthy, it just falls into place with everything else in your life. So that's my rant. So I'm a week out. I'm going to be taking lots of videos and photos, and so wish me luck at nationals. I'm just happy to be there, and whatever will be, will be. I have, dialed myself into what I think a good athlete would be, figure athlete, and actually, I think it's good to do your homework with every show and every organization that you are competing with, because the figure category is kind of getting varied from different organizations now, and it's good. Each website will usually have what a figure athlete should be. And CBBF, I'm going to read off right here from my computer. Scoring. So I will be judged on. They want you to have a small degree of muscularity with separation and no visible striations. Overall muscle tone with shapely lines, overall firmness, and not excessively lean. Full body assessment, healthy appearance, makeup, and skin tone. So, as opposed to males, who just need to get big and full and ripped and as dry as possible for bodybuilding. Even bikini and figure and physique is completely different because there's a fine line of where exactly your body needs to be. And with this new physique category out, you can see in the OPA and CBBF that it is not the bigger, more ripped, more dry, more lean girls that are doing well. They're looking for a softer look, fullness, no striations, and not too lean. And I think I have done a very good job at getting my body to that place. So I am very happy with how I'm about to step on stage, and wish me luck, and I will see you after the show.